Hi, I'm going to be talking about the Truffle plugin that we've built for our SIMBA platform, as well as the VS Code extension that accompanies the SIMBA platform. And both of these tools kind of allow us to sync up with projects that we have in the SIMBA platform and sync them to our local environment where we can do some local development. So to start, a brief overview on the SIMBA platform. Basically, this allows us to create contracts. We have a contract designer to do this. You can see a list of contracts I've already created here. And we could graph out these assets and transactions like this. And as we're graphing these out, the contract designer behind the scenes is actually generating the code for us. And so if I link these two together here, and I can click on the icon on the bottom right, and I can see that it's generated the Solidity contract code for me, or I could type that directly into the editor here and edit contracts that way. And then once I have a contract, we can deploy that to an application, which gets deployed to a blockchain, in this case the Ganache. And you can see I have a series of contracts already deployed and the receipts. When you deploy that, it creates a RESTful API for you. If I go here, you can see those RESTful APIs generated based on the methods and the parameters of those Solidity contract methods. Okay, and then we're going to go back here just to go over the Truffle plugin and the VS Code extension. So this is our Truffle project. You can see I do have a series of contracts already written to test. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to deploy a brand new contract called Toy. This is a toy shop. It's much like the other contracts I've already written. To start, I'm going to show you our SIMBA plugin commands. So I'm going to type truffle run SIMBA help. What you're going to see is we have login, logout, export, which ships the code to the platform, deploy actually deploys it to the blockchain. And just to make sure that we're clean, I'm going to run SIMBA logout to log me out. Then I'm going to log in. So it's going to give me an authorization URL that I have to click on. It takes me to the platform to authorize. And then when I go back, you can see I'm logged in. Now I have to choose the organization and the application I'll be working with. Okay, and then the next thing I can do then from here is if I click on the VS Code extension, I can log in here, and the same thing is going to happen. If I log in through this SIMBA platform, I can then pull down and sync contracts from the platform down locally. And to start, let's go back to our Truffle plugin, and let's actually export and deploy a new contract. So if I go back here just real quick and show you, we have a list of contracts. We don't have a toy contract yet. So this is the new one that we want to deploy. And first, as with every Truffle project, you need to compile your Solidity so that it creates a build artifact. So we're going to do that first. And hopefully it succeeds. Okay, so you can see it created the toy build contract. And the next thing I want to do now is just export that to the platform. So I'm going to type truffle run SIMBA export. And what this should do is give me an option of contracts that I want to deploy. I'm going to select our new one, which is the toy. And that's going to send that to the SIMBA platform. Now if I go back to the platform and I refresh, what we should see now is our new toy contract, and we can view that code here. Okay, so we have a toy contract, but it's not deployed to an application yet. So if I go to my app, you can see that we don't have, the last one deployed was a coffee shop transaction. So to deploy, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to type truffle run SIMBA deploy. And we've already selected our primary contract in the previous step, so we know the Truffle plugin knows which contract to deploy. Now it's just looking for a name. So we're going to call this Toy Shop. We're going to deploy it to Ganache using our local storage. We don't have any constructor arguments, so we're going to skip that. And then it deploys using our platform. and it was deployed to address 2C37. So now if I go back and I refresh my screen for the application, we should see there's my toy shop API, there's my toy contract, and we can see it was deployed to 2C37. And then from here, what we can do is just, it's deployed, so now it's ready to be used. So if I were to click on the API, we should see in the list of list of contracts we have, we should see toy shop, and here we see toy shop, and we can see the parameters for those. In addition, we can go to the GraphQL and we can query transactions and assets from the ledger using our GraphQL tool. So this is ready to go. Now if I go back to our VS Code extension and I just hit refresh on this, we should be able to sync, and there we have our toy contract. So now my local development is synced up with the remote platform. Another thing that we can do here with the Truffle plugin is we can select any one of these contracts that we don't already have locally, click the edit button, select a workspace or folder to pull that down, and we can pull that down and work on this locally as well. And then when we're finished, we can do the exact same, go through the exact same steps I just showed you to export and deploy back up to our SIMBA platform. And the other thing that we can do with our VS Code extension is we could actually view, we could click on the icon here, and that'll take us to our SIMBA, our RESTful API. So we can see what this looks like, come back here, do some more development, deploy, click on the API button to see what the API looks like, and we can just iterate over that and continually just sync up and develop locally. And that is all I have for the demo. Thank you.